So them the things that happen when you don't have a production crew.
That thing wanted to it wanted to work, then it didn't want to work. I'm like, what? You gonna come on? You're not gonna come on.
Yeah, when you're your own producer. That's what ends up happening.
And you're trying to do the best you can with what you got. So
yes, we're out here trying to be great.
We're gonna truck right along. All right, thank you. Welcome
back. How y'all doing?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, go check us out on YouTube too. Chat under the same name.
Mosey on over there. Like, share, and subscribe over there, child. So we're back. I have my unapologetically black shirt on because
I got on like work clothes and stuff because I'm back out here working in these streets.
I'm gonna start working.
Summer vacation is over, so I'm back to work.
I'm gonna go back to substitute teacher next week. I'm gonna see how that goes and try to get in where I fit in. But hey, we're back. We were back last week. We talked a little bit about the election results. And we're just going to continue on this momentum because we still have an election in November 8th. And we need to make sure we give you guys some important dates coming up because, we want y'all to make sure y'all, get in where y'all fit in. Okay. So in October, we're going to have the governor race, which is I'm praying, y'all, that y'all can really make it happen, that we make this governor a one-term governor, because he out here doing all kinds of foolery. And I don't know how much more of it I could take. I don't know if I could take any more of his shenanigans.
We tired.
I don't know if I can stomach it anymore. Like it's like 2020, what was it? 2016, 2018 all over again.
It was a whole bunch of stuff. All them years was kind of tripping.
Well, no, I mean like 45. It's like 45.
That was 2016. That was 2016.
Okay, 2016. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't even seem that far away, but I just listen. All I'm saying is let's try to make this person a one-term governor so we can kind of repair some of the stuff, because it's a lot.
It's broke.
It's a lot.
It's broken.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, all right. So listen, Narnique, Nikki Grant, one of your co-hosts for Racing the Races. We're going to do some recaps. We're going to talk about some issues. We like to talk about other states too, because those things affect us, especially in Congress. Yeah. So we'll talk about some of those people who are running for office and who are leading in different areas. I got a text today, so we'll talk about that text today that I got. This text was from the Democratic Club, but let me let you introduce yourself, co-host. Go ahead.
Oh, they know who I is. I'm just kidding. So the other co-hosts of Racing the Races. I'm rocking some different kind of hair right now. It looks a little bit more natural.
I love it.
Kind of like it's getting like bigger from the first day I put it on, so it's just kind of.
No, it hasn't changed, not for me. And I'm just
it look like it's just getting bigger. Yes,
I want it all.
Yeah, so it's a little shorter than normal.
I love the fact that we could just switch it up anytime we want to.
And I think people don't know who I am. They be like, "Who that?"
You don't need to know. What you need to know, I'm in the right place. That's all you need to know. I'm in the right place.
Yeah, I'm in the right place. I'm out here working. I'm in this class.
Looking flawless, honey. Looking flawless with all that.
Thank you. Yes.
So
that's new here.
Mm-hmm. That's right, and I like it. I need to get me some new hair too. Like they've been sending me messages, but I digress.
I get them messages too.
I get them text messages, and it'd be tempting, girl. I'd be like, oh, she's pretty. Anywho.
Right. So let's get to it, because people they out here talking about hair. This is a show on Racing the Races. There's a whole bunch of politics going on, and they distract me.
We're gonna get in where we fit
in. My hair.
So our state Democratic nominees are Charlie Crist,
fall in line.
Naomi Blermere, and
Val Demings. So Rubio got to go, right? So Val Demings for U.S. Senate.
Mm-hmm. So Charlie Crist for governor, Val Demings for U.S. Senate, Naomi Blermere, she's the Democratic nominee for the Commissioner of Agriculture.
Fall in line.
fall in line. Y'all need to fall in line. Ayala Amaris is for the Democratic nominee for Attorney General.
Ashley Moody is a whole problem. She be rocking with Ron DeSantis, so fall in line.
Listen, all I'm saying is, you want people to represent the people, not represent their own interests.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing Democrats do very well, in my opinion, well, from my standpoint, is we hold each other accountable. Like if you're not doing your job, you has got to go. Period. Okay.
Yep, you shouldn't get to keep it.
No, you shouldn't get to keep it at all. Why are you allowed to keep? Listen, you can't lie on your application and keep your job, right?
You shouldn't be able to.
Okay, so I'm just saying. So you can't come in and tell the people that y'all gonna be doing something and y'all don't do it.
And there's a lot of issues on the ballot. We're gonna talk about that too. So the same way, like Democrats are saying, if they're elected, they're gonna codify Roe, codify the Voting Rights Act, codify some criminal justice reform. Now, if y'all mess around and let the Republicans, take over, they're gonna codify Dobbs instead of like leaving it up to the individual states to make decisions about a woman's reproductive freedom. Right. The legislators are going to make decisions about that. So you have to think about that too. So the exact opposite can happen. They can strip people of voting rights, make it criminal justice reform. They can take that in a very different direction. So pay attention to that. So you really want to be in a position where we could at least start going in the right direction to having like some normalcy,
Right. So you're not just voting on people, you're also voting on the trajectory of what Congress is going to be looking like.
What direction it's going to go in.
Listen, I'm just saying, like, people need to pay attention to stuff like that. We have serious issues in all 50 states with governors and senators making decisions for everybody. Okay. I just posted something on my
contract, and it's not. They say it's for everybody, but what I see it as is that it affects everybody, but it's really about them or whoever the people were whoever the big money donors were that gave to that campaign. Exactly. So they're making decisions for everybody, but it's really something for a small percentage of the population. So I mean, we can't have that. We've come to learn that you can't trust you can't give power to everybody because they will not use it properly.
Absolutely not. And one of my things I learned that from Cory Booker. Is that his name? Yeah, Cory Booker. I learned one of the things he said. Yeah, one of the things he said. The senator from New Jersey. No. Yeah,
that's his name.
Okay, Cory Booker. Yeah. So one of the things he said was the power is with the people, not the people in power. And that is a very simplistic statement, but it was a very strong statement because at the end of the day, some of these characters out there, and I call them characters in these elected official positions because
they play a role.
They play one role with you, and then they play another role when they get there.
And they in real life don't be halfway what they do in the real life is very different.
It is very different. And the point that I'm trying to make is that you have the power to make those things happen for everybody. We all collectively have the power to make sure we send someone who is going to represent us. Period.
Right. And if you weren't so powerful, they wouldn't try so hard to take it away from you. Because if it ain't worth nothing, what do they care, right? Ain't nobody fighting over nothing that's worthless. You know what I'm saying? If it's worthless, ain't nobody fighting over it. But if they're trying so hard to do these things, that means that it has a lot of value, and you need to acknowledge and recognize that value.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So come November, don't play no games.
The last day you can vote.
November 8th is the last day. But
did you give the other dates, the early voting dates?
You know what? I thought I had it on me, but I do not, and I forgive me because I did have it last time.
You did.
Filling out those names.
But we're gonna get those dates for you.
I don't have it. I'm trying to see if it's in my pictures because I know I took a screenshot of it.
All right, we'll get to it. So what else were we talking about? So we talked about Charlie Crist, fall in line.
Fall in line with Charlie Crist. Yep, we're falling in line with Charlie Crist. That was not our candidate, but we're gonna fall in line. We know what we up against, and we know what we have to get.
He needs to toughen up for me though.
That's one of the criticisms he's been getting, that he's not being.
And so he picked what's her name, Carla Hernandez.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? He picked a teacher to be his running mate. What do you think about that?
He picked a teacher, and she was the former president of the Teacher Association in Dade County, right?
She was the current president of UTD, United States of Dade. I think she's the current president.
All right.
What do you think about that? He picked a teacher as his running mate.
Yeah, so I had an opportunity, and I think you were on too, on a Zoom call where we were introduced to her, and she was able to, have a conversation. Well, not conversation. She was able to tell us a little bit about herself, her background, and how excited she is to be his running mate. I don't know. I mean, it's a fresher breath, a breath of fresh air. Somebody different from the norm of politics. Yeah. I think that I think he's trying to make a strong statement by saying, listen, education is important, teachers are important, and, bringing the teacher on who
put him on the spotlight, right?
Put the spotlight on that. I think that was a strategic move. And I want to see how that fares as it goes. Because right now I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that looks. I'm not mad at it.
DeSantis is already coming for her.
Who's already coming for her?
DeSantis.
Oh, is he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, what did he say?
He says something about she's protecting sex offenders. Campaign says it's lies.
So we're just going out. We're gonna step out and just be nasty.
So to me, it's like if he start like trying, then I mean that sounds like he a little scared too. Cause like, why you messing with him? Why And so I guess he sees it as some sort of competition.
Here's the thing. I mean, if he wasn't concerned, he wouldn't come below the belt. That's second thing is, I'm gonna need Chris to be like, okay, so you want the smoke? That's what you want? Okay. So I'm gonna need him to kind of like,
yeah. So I think if he coming for her, then that, he kind of a little upset about that, or he feel a little threatened.
This is the look of
no. He just be bothering everybody. All right. So the school board people that he appointed, I don't know, like last week, because last week when we spoke, that he hadn't suspended the young ladies yet, right?
So lay the foundation.
So what happened in this week?
Lay the foundation down, co-host. Lay the damn foundation.
So that grand jury report came out. I think I called it an indictment last week. It's not an indictment. It was just a report. But they lost their job. So there was some serious consequences as a result of that, though, right? Yeah. But it was a report that came out, and a recommendation was made that they should all be suspended, right? And, we were just kind of like, is he really going to do that? It's election, but he did that, though, right? So he suspended all of them and announced their appointments right thereafter. Like as soon as he's like, yo, they gotta go. And then he appointed 4 men to the board. So right now there's 5 men on the Broward County School Board. Imagine this was like 9 women up until seat 5 was vacated, and he appointed somebody there, which was like March of this year. So it was one guy. Now it's 5 men on the Broward County School Board, come from a range of background. So he did that. Tori Alston was elected board chair. So he's the chair of the board, and Lori Alherdef is the vice chair of the board, right? So all that happened yesterday. And so they've been voting on different types of things. But what we just realized right before we came on the show was that Tori Alston was on the Broward County Commission, which DeSantis appointed after he either took over Barbara Sharif's seat or Dale Holden's seat, but one of those seats, because they had to resign to run when they ran for District 20, which that election was in March of this year. So Tori Alston, once they lost and didn't get no job, he appointed Markowitz, and he appointed Tori Alston. So now he took Tori Alston off the Broward County Commission, and now he's on Broward County School Board. So now there's a vacant seat on a Broward County Commission, because whoever wins because I think they're back on the ballot in November, they don't start their job till January. So as of right now, that area has no representation on the Broward County Commission.
And Broward County people, if you all are watching, okay, this is the foolery, right? this is the governor that created this new law where you had to resign to run, because we didn't have that issue initially, right? That was nothing that we were concerned about, because if we were where we were without this resign to run, there would be effective representation for any period. Okay. So the fact that people have to resign their jobs to run for another job and then leave potential seats vacant, unrepresented. Now here we are. You pulling one person from a place you appointed them to.
You just put them on there in March,
and then now this place is open and free with nobody, and then now just so you can cover the board. I don't understand. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I don't know. So what are you gonna do? Who is he gonna put over there, or is he gonna leave it vacant? So so now there's some taxation without representation in that district.
Just like he left state district, what was it? District 33 and District 20 vacant.
Well, so remember we said that, and then we were told that it wasn't vacant. Technically, it wasn't vacant because those folks who were going to resign to run was representing the area up until the election results came out. So they weren't supposed to. They technically they didn't not have representation. They did have representation. They did, even though their representatives might have been campaigning. They did have representation because those individual seats weren't up until the election.
But those seats weren't part of the special sessions. There was nobody representing them there during that time. I know that for a fact. At least with District 33.
It should have been, right? Because that one had a race in March, right? Because some people were fine in January because there was no Republican opponent.
Right.
District 33.
It was a special
Republican. They had a Republican opponent, and their election wasn't until March the 8th.
Exactly. And then that did not have no representation for that district.
So
like I said,
that was
he's leaving districts with no representation.
And apparently, so this whatever seat Tori Alston had is part of that whole District 33 group too. Those cities, they're practically the same cities that are involved. And here they go with nobody on the commission right now.
All I'm saying is that when you have a governor that's willing to do all of that, a governor should be concerned about it.
Willing to show you the governor that's showing you that they don't care.
I'm just saying the governor should care about all his 22 million people in Florida.
All 22 million of them, no matter what.
You ran for governor. Governor means you govern the entire state, right?
Yes,
so you should everybody in the entire state, not just the people that you think are important to you. You're supposed to serve everybody. So,
okay, so Philip is trying us today. He said who the Democrats were running voting for since it's two Republicans in the governor's race. Well, we gonna vote for the flip-flopping Republicans. We gonna vote for that one. We gonna have to vote for the flip-flopping Republicans.
Mr. Neptune.
I can't even be mad at you on that one today.
I can't even.
We Republican turn independent turn Democrat. We will not
dispute you on that.
We ain't even finna argue on that one.
You on that, Mr. Neptune. We won't do
that.
Us,
brother.
we just gonna go. We've made a conscious decision that we're gonna vote for the flip flopping
Republican turn independent turn Democrat. Yep, he got our vote.
We've made a
falling in line on that one.
We are falling in line like the Republicans fall in line for their candidates. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, okay? we fall in line on that one.
We gonna go ahead and what's that saying in Creole? Not feminine la bleu senti.
Yeah. We're gonna hold our nose. Go ahead and drink that water.
We're gonna go ahead and drink that Kool-Aid real quick.
I can't even argue Mr. Neptune today. Nope.
Not today. We acknowledge. We acknowledge that. And we're gonna go ahead and go for flip-flopping Chris. We're gonna do that. Okay. So runoffs in November are going to be for school board, which is District 1, 5, 6, and 8.
All right, who's that? So that's Rob Velez and Murray Martin. I got her name right. I didn't call her Mary Martin today.
Right. And then for number 5, you have Ruth Carter Lynch and you have Jeff Holmes. For seat 6, you have
Stephen Julian,
and Brenda Pham.
Oh yeah, I heard that she's a no.
Yeah, she's a no.
She's a no. She's an absolute no, everybody. She's a no.
So District 6 for school board, Brenda's an absolute no.
She's a no.
Yeah. Even for the other side that we shall not name the party, she's detrimental to you all. She will not fulfill.
It's a nonpartisan race. We understand that, but she's a no to everybody. Don't put her on your red card, your blue card, your no card. She's a no.
She's a no. And District 8 is going to be between Donna Korn, who has been suspended, and Zeman.
She said, "Don't fall for the lies, y'all. The governor didn't have the authority to do what he did."
She sent out an email basically saying the people have the right to remove her.
Make a decision.
That's what overstepped.
And some people may believe that he might have overstepped for real. I don't know.
Listen, that hasn't been that him overstepping is not.
That's how he roll.
He be sidestepping on a regular basis. So
I mean, that's what he does.
He overstepped too.
He came to Broward County talking about they arrested 20 felons for improperly voting. But mind you, the supervisor of elections in those places sent them people voter registration cards, right? So they're like, y'all mailed me the card. I thought I could vote. But then apparently there were some folks in the villages who voted twice. That should have really went to they know they not. If you don't know nothing else, you know you're not supposed to vote 2 times now. Like you get 1 vote. So they voted 2 times and they got probation and didn't get talked about in a news conference. But the people who really thought they had a right to vote, that they got a card mailed to them, you're gonna come and have a whole press conference about them, but not about the people who went and voted 2 times.
Ergo, the reason why he should be a 1-term governor. You create a whole department for voter fraud.
Oh, right? You talking about the police, the election police that he got going on?
He created a whole department with the acting supervisor of election at the time for Broward.
Former Broward County acting
supervisor of election in Broward County now heads up this department.
The election police.
He created with what funds? We'll get that information and bring that information.
Actually, yeah, something like that. But that's his voter intimidation, y'all. So if your vote wasn't important, they wouldn't be doing all that.
Well, let's the people know that he created this whole department, and out of the 12 million registered voters in Florida, across the state,
20 people.
He put out a warrant for arrest for 20 people.
20 people who the SOEs mailed cards to.
And these 20 people received their voter registration cards in the mail. I want y'all to understand. They received their voter registration card in the mail that told them they were eligible to vote.
Yep.
They took their voter registration card and their ID and they went and they voted.
They did.
And now he's arresting them.
He had a whole press conference talking about how he's going to arrest them. But the people who know they shouldn't vote 2 times.
So what Sandra's talking about is that there were 2 people in
might have been more than 2, but it's 2 that we know about.
2 that we know about. What was the area called again? The villages voted twice.
They know better. You live in the villages, you know better.
And those people, what they got was not arrest, but they automatically were.
No, they got pretrial intervention, which is pretrial diversion. They gave them do some community service, pay a fine, and then we gonna disregard the misdemeanor charge that you get.
But no arrest, right? So
it's considered an arrest, but it's not gonna show up on their record once they comply with the terms of the diversion program.
So the governor's argument is those 20 people, quote unquote, were felons before, according to him.
Well, it wasn't only that. He called them sex offender and murderers.
Yes.
Because as a felon, you can get your right to vote restored except if you're a sex offender or a murderer.
Or a violent crime, right? But
not some of the violent crimes you could, it's murder and sex offense.
Yeah, but then if you knew the stories of those people, some of these murders, or there was one that there was a manslaughter charge for one. And there was another one with, I think there was a vehicle, it was like drunk driving or something.
Car accident. We're not saying it's okay. We're just saying that it ain't
what I'm saying is that it wasn't someone who premeditated a murder, killed somebody, now they're on the streets and they free, and they went and they got they thought their rights were restored, and then they went and voted. That's not what that was. So
hey, Rod Velez.
Hello, Mr. Velez.
How you doing? That's candidate for seat 1, Broward County School Board seat 1, y'all. He's in a runoff with.
Can I just tell you, like, if all the men win their runoff, it's
gonna be like 7 dudes on the. Wait, no, it's gonna be what, 8? What is it? How many?
No, it's gonna still be 5. It's still gonna be 5 because Patty Good's seat wasn't up. So whoever that is that's been appointed,
that person's staying.
Yeah.
So
it's still gonna be 5.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Rod will be on the board. He'll be 1. And then 8.
I have a problem with that.
What? You have a problem with what?
With 5 men on the board. I have a problem.
Why? Rod, don't listen to her.
I have a problem with that. Not Rod. I think Rod is good for his job. I think I think he deserves his spot. But I have a problem because all the men, as you can see, vote together. They've done it for the past 2 meetings.
Hey, those chicks kind of messed up.
But the other thing, I'm all for healthy representation. I feel like it shouldn't really be too much of a majority. I feel like there needs to be
every now and then, because I think the state of what Broward County School Board is in right now.
Yeah,
you always want to take children. It's always about the children, right? But then, this might be a time where, like sometimes when the kid does something, is the daddy really need to handle that because mama just gonna be a little too soft. So you be like, you know what? I'm gonna let your daddy deal with this. All right. So we might be in a situation where have a daddy to deal with the problems. Okay?
Listen, I get it. I just, for me, I'm not that I had an issue with the report and or the suspension, because I do believe that there is waste going on with the budget and all that other stuff. I do agree with that. However, my concern is that I don't want us to be, moving one each issue for another issue. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just happy that there's still elections going on and that these people are just placed there as a placeholder. And then those who are running for office.
But 1 is probably going to be a man. 6 is up, right? 6 is probably going to be a man because we don't want that other lady. Winston Stephen Jr. is in that race.
1 and 6, 5 and 8.
So it could all be. So 1 could be a man, 5 could be a man, 6 could be a man, and 8 could be a man. Yeah. So it is. It says I want to be more than 5 because.
Oh wait, no 1.
It'll be like 6 of them.
Oh yeah,
it'd be like 6 men on the board
because it's 4 seats going up. Yeah, yeah, it could be.
And Tory's staying because he took over Patty Good's seat.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's only going to be 5 because there's 1, 2,
but the other 3 are all. Those are all.
So you have Nora Rubert, Lori Ahodeth, and then you have
Leonardi and Debbie Hickson. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. So 5.
Yeah. It's always going to be 5-4. See.
Okay. Well. Hey, it might be time for Daddy to come and have a conversation.
See, I don't like that. I don't like it.
Amy Sheila's correcting me. She said yes. If they all win, it will be 5. It just sounded like it just seemed like it was going to be 8 of them.
No,
it was so many.
It's
5. Okay, so 3 of them are going to get replaced.
Right.
They get replaced by men.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amy.
I do not want 5. I would prefer 4. And the 4 that I would prefer, keep my Julian I like Rod. I don't know about Zeman.
But Zeman, listen. So if I guess it's going to depend on who the governor is, right? Because if Donna Corn wins and if DeSantis get reelected, he just gonna suspend her again. I cannot imagine him not suspending her again. He's gonna suspend her again and put a guy there, right? So that's really gonna be probably. So it might end up being a man no matter what, depending on who the governor is. So now if Charlie Crist wins, he may not get involved with that and not suspend her. Who knows? But I think if she wins and DeSantis wins, he's gonna replace her, and most likely he's gonna replace her with a man. So that seat is kind of like, it sounds like it's a for sure, right? And then 5, Ruth Carter Lynch may win. So if she wins, then it'll be 4 men and 5 women.
Well, I have to honestly say that this whole debacle of the school board is one that I'm quite frankly kind of like,
that's right. Yeah.
I quite frankly am like over it. You know how you get to something, you're like, oh, I'm just over it. Y'all just get yourselves together.
Get it together.
And just get it together.
And so DeSantis basically said, it's time for me to call daddy. Because y'all over here being emotional and we need y'all to handle business.
It's about being emotional. I just think that, and all that set aside, I just think that he does things strategically for his benefit. He never does anything that's not going to benefit him. So it's not, he's not doing Broward County a favor, or he's not trying to look out for Broward County. I don't care what anybody says.
He's not going to win Broward County. He doesn't win.
I'm not a DeSantis fan. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care if you like him, if you don't like him. I don't care. Everything he does is done specifically for him.
I guess he don't care if he just turned Broward County upside down, because he's not winning Broward. Broward is always blue.
Well, no, he probably gonna try to win in Broward with his newly voter police people. Yeah, but people need to pay attention to that though, because
absolutely. No, I'm not saying don't go vote now, y'all. We need more than 20% on November the 8th. We need more than 20% on November the 8th. Well, it went up to 21%, but we need more than 21% turnout on November.
Yeah, that turnout was low. That turnout was
more than 21% on November the 8th. That's why we're having this conversation.
Yeah, that turnout.
Who else is in a runoff? Some judges.
So our judges are in a runoff. You said you know them by name, but you don't know them by numbers. I know them by numbers. I don't know by name. So Group 23, Group 51, Group 15 are all in the runoffs.
So I'm gonna tell y'all: Tamar Hamilton, Tanya Williams, Suzette Hyde. That's what I'm gonna say. Just look for those names.
Representation matters.
Tanya Williams, Tamar Hamilton, Suzette Hyde. That's it.
Kasia Early
Early. She
really close, but
300 votes. 300 and something votes. That's why every vote counts. Like, the fact that people are like, oh no, my vote don't count. It does. She lost by 300 votes. 320 something votes. So every vote counts.
Every solitary vote counts. Every solitary vote. I want our audience to pray for the people in Jackson, Mississippi. They're having issues with their water. It's so bad over there. It's so bad that the mayor said that the people will be with no water indefinitely. That's how bad it is. I don't know how you can tell 150,000 people that they're not going to have water indefinitely.
Well, if the place is 85% black, that's how you could tell 150,000 people they ain't going to have no water indefinitely. Because the water in Flint, Michigan is still bad. And that water been bad for over 10 years.
I'm horrified. I am horrified.
And that's that thing with, like how a lot of, how the infrastructure bill was so hard to pass. Like they know this was happening, right? Like
that's my point.
Y'all know this was happening.
And those Mississippi senators voted against it.
Decided to vote against this, and y'all knew this was gonna happen. But okay.
The Mississippi senators voted against it, refused to vote for it. And here we are, you have 150,000 people who can't even have water to flush their toilet. That is unacceptable.
That's crazy. In America, this is in America. We're not talking about no other countries where, because water is an issue around the world. There shouldn't be one here.
Unacceptable.
Clean water is an issue around the world. It should not be one in the United States.
It reminds you of Hurricane Katrina and Louisiana. It reminds you of those type of things. And by the way, on Netflix, I think they have a whole documentary about Hurricane Katrina, and it's called Katrina's Babies, like everybody that came after or whatever. Point I'm trying to make is that those senators knew If we had an infrastructure bill, we would probably be in a better position. People wouldn't be sitting here without any water. 150,000 people who
and they were told a month ago that this about to happen, and they chose to ignore.
I'm beside myself. So I'm just, if you are able to look up information, I believe that there's agencies out there that are accepting donations,
send water,
accepting some money, water, or whatever. Find somebody, hook up with some of those organizations, and see if we can help our brothers and sisters in Jackson, Mississippi, because there should not be a place in this country where you can't have water,
clean water,
to take a shower, to brush your teeth, to flush the toilet, to feed your babies. There shouldn't be. That shouldn't be at all. I'm really upset about this. I'm super upset about it.
Elections have consequences, y'all.
All day. Don't let consequences happen to us here in Broward, in Florida. Period.
So we were going to talk about we're going to wrap up early today.
Yep.
Well, okay. So we're trying to flip the Senate blue. Well, yep. It's kind of blue now, but not for real. We want to make it blue for real.
Blue for real.
So Warnock needs to win in Georgia. Mandela Barnes is running against, I think, Ron Johnson in Wisconsin. He has a chance of becoming a senator from the state of Wisconsin. There's a young lady named, I have it right here, Sherry Beasley, that's running for U.S. Senate in North Carolina. So she has a chance of winning in North Carolina, so we need to support that. Of course, in Pennsylvania, what's his name? I was gonna say he's passing Dr. Oz on Babetes.
I can't believe Dr. Oz is even trying to run for office, but okay.
Dr. Oz is living with some regret right now because they're giving him the business.
They better give him the business. Who is running for Senate?
We have Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin. Sherry Beasley in North Carolina, Val Demings in Florida. We need to get Warnock back from the state of Georgia.
Who
we have a chance at 52-53.
We have a Senate.
Ryan. His name is Tim Ryan in Ohio.
In Ohio. Okay.
Yes, Tim Ryan. He has a really good chance of winning in Ohio. So Tim Ryan in Ohio. And I'm going to tell you the guy named in Pennsylvania. He's doing that's the crudité.
Okay.
You keep talking about crudité. Hold on.
A crudité or coup d'etat?
No, it's a crudité. No, remember Dr. Oz did this thing about making a. No, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
Making a crudité.
It was a crudité.
Yeah, the crudité. All right. So Fetterman.
Okay.
Fetterman has a chance to win in Pennsylvania. Okay. We need to do all of that and all of that and all of that. And the governor races are important too. Yes. We talked about Charlie Crist in Florida. Stacey Abrams is running in Georgia. She needs to win. Beto O'Rourke is winning in Texas. Is running in Texas, so he needs to win there.
And Beto's doing a great job talking to Republicans and getting them to switch sides. He's going into some of their rallies.
And Tim Ryan in Ohio is doing that too. But yes,
he's having conversations, and he's doing it in such a way, not in a way to say, "Hey, come on this side because it's better."
It's about the issues. If you're talking about the issues right about now, the Democrats are really on the right side of all of the issues. They are. There's times when they're not, but this time they're on the right side of all the issues.
There's video out there. If you go on his website or you go on his social media, there's video out here where he's speaking to people on the other side, and he's telling them, he brings it home to them, but with their issue.
Pay attention to the issues.
If you decide to choose me, this is what I'm trying to create. This is how it's going to affect you. And when you talk to people that way and you explain it to them that way, you will get people to see, oh, so that's what you're trying to do. So he does not talk about the other side in a negative way. He doesn't even say anything. He's like,
you don't have to just talk. If you stick to the issues, people will be like, I understand my rent is too high. Food is expensive. You know what I mean? Like my rent's too high. Food is expensive. They starting to believe in this climate change because like a third of Pakistan is underwater right now because of some monsoon that just happened. You know, they got dirty water in Mississippi. That's real life stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about the issues, that's real life stuff, and people can relate to that.
So pay attention to Georgia. Pay attention to North Carolina. Pay attention to Ohio. Pay attention to Pennsylvania. We need these seats in order
Florida, the state we live in.
Florida, the state we live in. Yep. Pay attention to these seats, these Senate races. These are the Senate races that will make or break us, because we need some of these things to be codified. We need things to be passed, and we can't do that with what we have now. It's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Cinema and Manchin have proven to be spoiled,
not reliable,
unreliable teenagers that you can't count on. And they need to understand that they either get in line and fall in line and do what's right for the people, or they don't get to keep their job. Unfortunately, they're not up for re-election
until about 26.
Pardon?
I think Manchin is up in 26 or something like that. Maybe 26. Okay. And Manchin might be up in 24.
Manchin, of all people, his state needs all the help they can get. And you out here being a hard ass on, like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it, sir. I don't get it. Your state will benefit.
It's like, one of the poorest states in the United States.
Come on, sir.
It is.
This what we doing? Like, it's like
and they poor. Like, they're poor for real.
Like, to hell with that state. And the other thing too is that most of these people are millionaires, right? And so
the people in office, not the residents of the state, the people in office.
They're so far removed from the people that they represent that they can't even see.
And it doesn't normally start off that way. It just ends up that way, right? Because they get book deals. Like Marco Rubio said, he don't care about because they're talking about the student loan, right? So he said, well, I was able to pay off my student loan because I got a book deal. His book deal paid him $800,000 advance on his book deal. So he was able to pay off his $100,000 in loan. We are not all so able.
Well, can I tell you?
Get $800,000 advances on a book deal.
Can I tell you that? Can I tell you how petty the White House was last week?
What they do? What did they do?
When I say they petty, they were petty. So every Republican representative or senator that came out either on Twitter or on TV talking about how they should
against loan forgiveness.
Child, Twitter was on fire when
they put out the list of the PPP loans.
Girl, listen. Somebody put on their Twitter says, "Oh, the White House says, oh, you want to talk about? Hold my beer. I'm gonna come around." They listed every person who pulled out PPP loans, how much it was, and how much was forgiven.
And some of them had one of them had like a $4.3 million PPP loan that was forgiven. $4.3 million, and you tripping on 10,000.
Matt Gaetz had $448,000 PPP loan.
The Marjorie Taylor Greene had some money too. Yeah,
that was forgiven.
Yeah.
All these people that were coming out. Oh, there's somebody that's on my Facebook page, and I screenshot her thing, and I'm not gonna say who she is, but I'm gonna say what she said, and if she so happens to be watching, then where the shoe fits.
She said what she said, and she might stand by.
Whatever. Her thing was, there's already a program for repaying student loans. It's called The Job. Said the person who never went to college and never got a student loan in her life. Ma'am, you didn't go to college. You don't have a college degree. You didn't pull out a student loan. So it's easy for you to say, get a job. You're a kept woman. Your husband works, you do nothing. You stay home.
She does do something because she maintains the house and maybe taking care of some kids. So I don't want to say she don't do nothing. She just may not understand the struggle of paying back student loan debt.
I said she's a kept woman and she does nothing.
I mean, but she got a kid. She might manage the house or something. So she might do some stuff.
She managed the house in terms of what?
I mean, it takes time to rent a house, to manage a house. She got to go shopping, put the groceries, manage the workers that come in.
I guess one of us have to be politically correct around here, but okay.
It's a thing.
I'm just telling you that this person is a kept woman, okay? And
I don't know, but I ain't saying that. Hey, she gotta, it might be hard work keeping that man happy to go to work and make sure she don't have to. I don't know.
Okay, we'll go with that. My thing is that you never pulled out a student loan. You didn't go to college. You went from high school to wife, and you really shouldn't be part of this conversation.
You don't understand. There are some times where we got to stay out of the conversation.
That's not your.
Sometimes there's some things that people talk about. I'd be like, you know what? I might have to step aside and just listen in this particular instance because I really can't add any value. I can't relate. I don't know. So this might have just been one of those moments where she needed to just stay at the conversation.
My thing is that I have a hard time with people who make comments like that that that's not their lane, never done it, don't have no experience about it. And then they're also in a position where they are basically trophy wives. And when I say kept women, you can still, when I say what I said, it's because I know what the situation is. You're in a home, you don't have to clean, you don't have to cook, you have someone to cook for you, you have someone to clean for you. The only thing that you're basically doing is probably giving your husband his needs, and that's it. So you're not in a position to say nothing at all.
I mean, she just shouldn't be no hater about the fact that people is gonna get a little bit of breaking all this money that they owe. That I'm gonna just
and let's be clear.
Whatever her reasons, motivation are, it's like you gotta just go ahead and be happy for the people that's like, thank you, Lord, for giving me this relief. Don't be no hater in that.
We're talking about $10,000. We're not talking about everybody's their student loan is wiped out. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, some people do that. They get student loan money and use. I know somebody who did that too. That got student loan money and bought a house. I do know somebody who did that. I do. Listen, I got clients, they tell me all kinds of stuff. I'm like, you did what now? So
now, hey, listen, and
maybe that's part of why. That's part of it. That's not fair. Like you know, a whole house.
My thing is that we don't know everybody's individual issues where it comes down to student loans. I just don't think people who got forgiveness on loans can say to someone else, well, it's not fair that you get forgiveness.
Right. And the person who doesn't have that situation, just don't be no hater about it. Like, be glad, because some people the people got to break. Favor ain't fair. Call it whatever you want. Just go ahead. But you know what part of the conversation I'm absolutely confused about is how they're saying like the colleges are going to raise tuition because of student loan forgiveness. I'm like, my student loans are from mine are from like 5 years ago. That school been got paid. So what they worried about my loan forgiveness for? Because they get their money. So I don't understand the connection. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. But I'm like, well, the schools, they got paid when they gave me my degree. Because let me tell you, when I was graduating from college, I had our phone bill was connected to the school, right? And I think I owed like $70 on the phone bill. They was like, yeah, you got to pay this phone bill before we give you your degree. I was like, what? They was like, no, you can't leave here owing us no money. And so I had to call my mom, and $70 in like 1992 was a lot of money, right? So I was like, yo, mommy, they're like, I need to pay this $70, else they're not going to give me my degree. So I had to clear all my debts with them for them to give me my diploma. So the schools, they get their money before they turn over their degree to you. So I don't understand the connection between this loan forgiveness and the fact that the schools feel as though they need to raise tuition. Somebody explain it to me, because I don't understand it. I don't know. It's like they just looking for a reason to raise tuition then, because loan forgiveness don't got nothing to do with you, because the people took out the loan to make sure you got paid. Now, not whoever the banks and maybe the Sally, whoever the Sally Mae, whoever the student loan people, like, not, they might be able to be mad, but then not the government, because the government
making money. They're making money.
I don't understand what's the connection between loan forgiveness and colleges raising tuition.
There is no connection.
I don't understand. But somebody might be able to explain to me, because I don't get it.
I don't see a connection. And I think people who are paying their loans, they're paying off the interest. They're paying off
the interest or the money they got from the government, or maybe from some private lender. Yeah. But the school, y'all got y'all money. That's how the person walked away with their degree. Like, I don't understand. So maybe they get. I don't know. Maybe they get interest from the money that was borrowed or something.
Those who pull out loans are not paying it to the school. They're paying it to the entity that they pulled the school.
They gave them the money, and the school got paid. So I'm confused.
The school is made whole already. So I'm confused as to why we talk about tuition fees. That's why there's so many people who are leaving this country and going to other countries, because they're like.
And let me tell you, I was going to talk about a school I used to work at, because they get paid even if you don't finish them classes. They make you borrow for the whole semester up front, and even if you take one class and drop the rest, they still getting their money. Their money used to be like $8,000. They getting their $8,000 whether you take them classes or not, and they gonna put your name in a bureau, whatever. You gotta pay that money off before you take another class anywhere. So
continuing education and college after high school is a hustle. That's what it is.
It's a business. It's a business.
It's a business
Absolutely
and it's a
business.
hustle, honey. So
Yep.
here's what it is.
All right, so elections matter. Elections have consequences. Yep. Y'all be informed about your candidates for the November 8th. That's the last day. Early voting may start October or what?
12th. I think it was October.
Is October 12th? Okay, and then you got to register. I think, to vote in that election before maybe the 13th or something like that. You have to do your registration before in order for you to be eligible to vote. And ballots drop sometime in September. I think the end of September, the vote by mail ballots come out.
The end of September?
I think it's the end of September, like 29th or something.
Okay. All right. So they're still showing the old time, the old, what you call it, the old dates.
The old dates. All right. We'll put them up. And I think we do have a post that have those dates on the Race and the Races page.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too. So make sure when we come back, we'll give you specific dates and we'll try to post it. And
we'll talk about it because it's important.
It's important. Again, look to see what you can do to help the people in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm pretty sure that they are welcoming all types of donations of water, but also I know that there's organizations that are taking in donations, monetary donations, so they can try to see what they can do to improve life there. Because apparently, and I thought the word indefinitely means never, no more, again. That's what I thought that word meant. But
that means until they can fix it. Like they don't have a date. They don't have a time certain, so they don't know.
And to me, that's the most horrible thing I can ever hear with people who have children, families, and they're just trying to live. So like, yeah, the infrastructure bill, as you can see how that affects us all. So we need to make sure that we get the right people in office and make sure that people are taken care of, because that's outrageous in these United States.
In these United States of America.
People to be without water. That is outrageous and unacceptable. All right, so we'll see y'all next week. We said we were trying to cut it down, but we got caught up.
Yeah, we did. Well, we did. It was shorter than the last one, so we were getting better.
So getting better. We'll see y'all next week and in good health. And everybody make sure we still kind of do well. Kids are still getting sick with COVID, so make sure you take care of your babies, give them some iron, some what is it, vitamin C, get those babies' immune systems up. We're still trying to fight this pandemic, so just still be cognizant and be careful. And mental health, and take care of yourselves, because I had a health scare, and listen, ain't nothing like taking care. Make sure you take care of yourself. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all.
Okay.